But the Omen is just going to teleport right past it.
And it's enough of a distraction. And as they do turn towards C, opening the door, he's acting now as alert. Gets caught out though, but Bursey's entry is successful. Albeit mandatory's early kills, there's still a numbers advantage though. Look at this. Bozy goes in a little bit deeper. Enzo might be ready for it, calls for assistance, doesn't want to go in alone, but Metizport, they've got two ready for this, and they're actually coming out on top, but no, it's equally traded, so Shinnok, tasked to do it by himself.
13 seconds for a haunt, that's all he's got to play for, and a flank from Kellogg's could catch him, but Kellogg's is only 15 HP.
So it could be an easy pickup. Will he appear on the side of the screen? Shinnok dropping back to avoid the aftershock and walks back straight after. Kellogg's gets him, knocked off his feet, not knowing there was a third player after two being revealed backside. Metizport getting a lot of correct things done here. Hip looking to... He's cleared backside. Now he needs to take the next corner. Still three remaining. Nightfall drops. It does catch Shinnok off guard, but still Bursey Cider end up on top with their kills. Playing all three players to the back of his site, making it ever so treacherous for mandatory to cross. Hip finds an upgrade. Even though he knows his opponent's position, they are toying with...
a fight, but he's just sort of stalled in that position. It's going to be a pistol versus pistol, and the right click of the classic is good enough. Whilst that main gun is stunned out, it's jammed up. He's able to get it just online, but Bursey thankfully takes the fight and wins.
The pieces are hitting now here for Metizport, though, as they're trying to bring things back, but Kellogg's is sharp. He finds himself high ground, but unable to find the closer onto his opponent still. Within the Viper's pit, Metizport can find some comfort. Though being low could be easy pickings for Enzo. Gets both. Now it's down to Bursey. He's trying to stay under the radar here, and he's got the Viper's pit still going for him, so they know he's nearby, but he's all to himself. He can hear the commotion. He tries to call for Enzo to come in quickly. He knows he needs to take action there because the angle wouldn't help him at all. In trouble. But Hunter's Fury from Enzo connects not only once, but twice. That is ridiculous. Mandatory save around in a moment where Metizport could have found an opening and a clear entry into the A site.
I feel like they're just using Kellogg's as like an owl drone, basically. He dies, he pings where the enemies are. Anguist has found an opening over to the A site, but it is still a 2 versus 3 to win. He might get the tempo here on Enzo, but just nothing is getting past him.
No. He's got a fly squat and he's smashing everyone into the ground.
10 seconds left.
Wolves. It's not pretty. 5 seconds and the spike won't be going down. Cider misses the opportunity to do it. Oh, Kellogg's going aggressive once again, but he is spotted. Juicy with an off angle. Saivov able to retaliate, but somehow Enzo escaping. He's in the Matrix, avoiding bullets left and right, and still available to be very dangerous with an Odin now in tree.
He loves the Odin. Loves this part of the map for that reason. Had a lot of success with it yesterday, not only on Lotus, but in various points as well.
This is risky.
It is, but there have been these kids. The problem is more that Metizport are just walking together in a cluster. Depends how much side...
catch him.
Do they clear it is the question.
The Prowler didn't spot Hip here. They break the cam and leave. That's crucial info. An extra step is taken. Hip trying to play the timing. He knows he's avoid the Prowler. Oh my word, Hip. This is insane! Hip!
Spike down, C.
As cold as ever!
I'm not quite getting much on the ping, but the cut noise means that actually Enzo was quite surprised here. Saivov still manages to find a kill. Always in these instances, he's got something to play off. And it's a nice showstopper from Juicy to clear that corner, knowing Enzo was there.
Rolling Thunder does get utilized though. Juicy trying to get into the heat of the action, but Kellogg's was quick to react and throw the showstopper directly in his face. Still 3v4 as Metizport need to collect themselves here. Find the optimal positions to try and hold down the fort, but the neural theft will complicate this affair. Cider required to do a lot before the tick comes his way. He's been spotted twice now. Shinnok is going to still stay with that angle, but Anguist takes a deeper one, which does catch Hip off guard. Mandatory now struggling. They're the ones behind. They need to start taking action, but the stun ends up affecting Kellogg's as well. Saivov is struggling on the spike, trying to lure attention towards him, but he still has to deal with 2 more players, but I don't think he has time. Surely not. I don't think he has it. Even though he gets it. Spotted out some presence, trying to get the smoke spray going, but Jusu's movement too difficult to account for. Therefore, the free opener and the C-site take.
Really good pathing from Jusu. In fact, his raise has been really good on this map so far.
planted.
Sort of similar player, I guess, to Kellogg's, but not maybe hitting the same highs when it comes to where he's been at tier 1. But he's still trying for an opportunity.
Outdrawn from Enzo, spotting out Cider at the 3 combo, trying to figure out more information, paired that with paint shots. Enzo, he is stunned up, so can't really go aggressive, throwing shot darts in the approximate direction of a few of these players, and the Odin is a perfect gun for the situation. Knowing exactly what he needs to do. He's loving life right now, but it's still a close affair because Cider hasn't been dealt with just yet, and they know they're running out of time and go in for another try. Make the right calls for his team to move in. Cyborg ends up on top, Kerox as well. This is starting to work a lot better for Mandatory as they do walk in together as a ball of death. Juicy now looking to hold on. Stun doesn't affect him as he walks a little bit further forwards. Denies Kelox the defuse. Still though, it's Chinook by himself. Enzo up against him. He's revealed himself. So now Cyborg can feel comfortable to get under the defuse. Paintral's drop. Paranoia in as well. Juicy aggressive, but he gets pinged by the recon there for both players on the Metizport A-side defense full flat.
Kellogg's not afraid to go aggro. It's Nova. He, again, wants to try and double peek that, but it's a little bit too tight that he doesn't really get the help too much from Hip. The 4 versus 2 means that these attackers can get comfortable. They've all bunkered into tree. Anguist and Bursy having a lot to do to uproot all of these players, and you have to get through Mikey that's just tucked in on this right-hand side too.
Yeah, they're just taking the fights together, aren't they? Different directions.
Execute, which is really nice when you have the worst weaponry.
The position on that could have been marvelous against Kellogg's there, but he didn't quite anticipate the crunch, and now Mandatory have completely opened things up. Cider needs to retaliate. Good to hold his own. Knows he's asked of a lot here, but he's able to hold back as the Paranoia is thrown right back at him. Throws a Paranoia of his own, and he wins another fight. Now the rest of his team need to do the heavy lifting. All 3 Mandatory players grouped up together here as Metizport look to break in. Onto the spike, but the spray down power could be massive here. All 3 rifles could do a lot of spraying. Hip behind the smoke. Bursy holding it down. Good position as Hip feels the need to go in aggressive and gain the info. Stun out. Now with the smoke fading out, they've got a bird's eye view of this. Enzo now needs to do it by himself as he loses all of his teammates. It's being diffused, and there's nothing.
The big one.
Sure. But we won't be seeing it straight away. Now we will, though.
He missed!
But it doesn't miss. It lands directly between the 2 players that he was aiming for. And it just isn't enough. Maybe some damage. That Cypher could try and clean up. No, Jusu ends up holding on, but not for long. This is pure chaos. This is craziness. That's it. Awkward recon. Has to take the fight. Oh, he gets
trade.
But Enzo's able to clean it up. Oh, that'd be big. That'd be very big.
Irrelevant.
But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves just yet. Anguist gets first blood, although the spike does go down. And this B-site is treacherous, so Mandatory take the step to go in aggressive, but lose both of the players trying to push. It is exchanged by 1, but it's not good enough. Enzo pulls into his feet. This is not easy, although it's the best gun for the situation. Side is tucked under and he can't be affected. Bursy finds a spray. Cypher tries to find a wild Hail Mary to bring his team back into it, but there's nothing he can do. But we'll be landing this time, breaking some of the utils. Cypher needs to find the right angle for this one. He actually finds a perfect one. That is 3 to his name before he goes down, but he's done his job. And now Anguist knows just do damaging a way out, and that's exactly what he does. Mandatory will be permitted to plant, but now Metizport have got 4 bodies to throw at this.
Good peek from Enzo. Lot rides on him. He's the higher health target as Syvoth is down to 4 HP. Has 1 flash, which could be major, but he's still winning these fights. We saw 2v5 yesterday, one. Maybe Mandatory could do it again.
Oh my words! It's happening! All right, it's happening! Choosing the Vandal, that's the right choice of a weapon. Syvoth is low, but Chinook needs to start moving quickly because the spike is going down! Pickup, but he might have done the job. Hit. Very close angle. Revealed, and Birds is able to use that to his advantage. Enzo gets knocked out as well, and all of a sudden you think that Metizport might have a chance. Kellex all by himself, up against a 3. He needs to do a lot here, but Chinook is able to find a different angle to deal with him. Zyphov all to himself. A 1v3 required, but it's just 2 them in. But you've also left Mikey exposed. It feels like Metizport know how many players are on the other end, so they want to exploit this entry. Now Enzo is alone on this fight, although he's got the perfect gun for this scenario. Chinook is able to read it in time. Oh dear, it's going wrong. You need heroics. You need extremely good plays. And you're kind of hoping that Hip can provide, especially given that Metizport have mandatory chilling on that front. But Shinnick this time on the Odin is actually able to find some answers. Takes a page out of the book of Enzo and shows him how it's really done. I mean, he had quite a bit of a taste on the previous half, so not surprising. Knows what to do with it in this status. Sky does go down for mandatory, so the first step is there for them. Paranoia could affect Enzo if he opens the door. Oh, he's not affected by it. Oh, recovers in time. But Metizport do win on the other front. Anguis has done a hell of a good job, and that's just enough. That is it. Metizport succeed. The defensive solid as they do end this map.
HG take a map tomorrow. Even if they lose, that would be mandatory out. And what a great start. It's looking like another pistol potentially, or the first pistol on the board. Producer and the rest of Metizport. The ace is going to be denied.
As well as guided salvos, this could really hurt the push from mandatory into the site, and especially with all 5 players alive. This is looking very confident. If you're mandatory, you're already calling this one off. It hasn't gone to plan. Try and save the rifles. Maybe take down players down with you. Northeast would be a hell of a competitor. 2 regions merging, the 2 biggest regions. So there's bound to be a lot of talent available for these teams to pick up. Mikey, good to shut down the first initiation and equalizing the numbers a little bit, making things slightly easier for them on this post part. But Metizport aren't letting them settle. They switched up their approach a bit and knocking mandatory off their feet, not the pickup. That's crucial. Now Jusu can enter onto the back line, try to cause havoc. Instead, Kelox gets caught in the middle of 2 fights and ends up being controlled. 3v3, Metizport gain access in a moment that they really shouldn't. You can see Mikey deep onto that side, keeping things going, but Shinnick stops the force. Try and move into the C side, but they haven't really cleared out the backside utility, and there's plenty of defenders to throw at this still. In the middle of the chaos, Hip ends up coming out on top, and having control of the backside is huge. As well as the Neural Theft, that reveals everything. Mandatory should be able to grab this up. Losing this would be a complete fumble, and Shinnick is still making them shake. Falls back, but Enzo can move in. And he ends up with a pickup. That's not too bad. Now he can just walk out, and Mikey is the next one to be contested. It could be a free piece. Or maybe even 2 if he lets them just walk past. That is brilliant by Mikey. Damage even dealt to the 3rd player. Now Metizport are scrambling.
Happened again. Just Metizport not clearing these corners, similar to over on Lotus. Not quite the same amount of damage. But we have seen mandatory wins on 2 versus 5s. Now Metizport have to win a 1 versus 4.
The action as Metizport look to take on the attack. Rolling Thunder directly inward. Sider gets interrupted on his way out. So now Mandatory look to take the side.
I was a little bit worried that Mandatory might lose a little bit of that momentum that they were starting to build up with the break, but they found themselves the first kill. Armageddon going to be used to just stall things out as well. In a spot where there's 4 defenders ready to jump onto this defuse. Hip finding another brings this to a 3 versus 5.
But you kind of want these sideline kills to start going your way. Anguish is able to find one, but the spike is being diffused. It's nearly there. You need to get on it and quickly, but the smoke is enough to stop.
Headshot. 30 seconds left.
It just adds to the injuries that Metizport have already gotten.
Lovely angle.
One enemy
And
remaining.
more and more keep falling in the grass of Mandatory. It is not. Guided Salvas try and create an opening. Hip trying to take an open fight. Although Mikey wasn't quite there to help. Metizport are starting to win on their engagements. They've spread out a bit. And winning these solo, maybe duels as well, but the fact that they've found an opening towards Garage is exactly where they're trying to exploit. Kelox is giving all the information over to his team, trying to obstruct them with a flash, and now breaking out of the dimensional drift. Gets a picture that needs to turn around here, because the team might be in trouble. He finds the right timing, but Kelox is still breaking onto the site. Spike down, he can get onto the defuse, which puts Chinook under pressure, but Kelox plays up closely. He takes a fight, but Chinook! Salvo is preemptive here from Chinook. Doesn't really have any more of his flashes, so Mandatory will be able to take precedence here, but the fact that there's a smoke denies them the entry. Does it even matter though if they get all the picks? Now they can just recompose themselves. Anguis, waiting for the right moment. Do they expect Chinook to be here? I don't think they do. And somehow he's able to chop.
Juicy's push up all the way. That's a great stun, however, and it does catch him out of position.
And that's a potential rifle pickup if Mandatory choose to move outside of A-Long, but don't take the bait. Knowing how Metizport could potentially be crunching on it and knowing what the thought plan is, but no. B-side on their eyes, and they group up together, and the power of friendship is strong.
By the flash.
Flashed up by the clone. Anguist is in big trouble. A world of hurt. Metasport.
With a Hunter's Fury to actually catch
Ooh,
these
that's
players
good.
on the execute.
Juice are trying to move in, but both get caught. Enzo! A triple kill with the Hunter's Fury. That should just not be allowed. Completely dismantling the Metasport defense. I'm sorry, but the Viking ship is sinking. And Mandatory are just hammering it down.
A fast plant over on C and a fast attempt again for a retake.
Ooh.
Anguist finding the first. Nobody else is on site. Everybody's playing this post plant. There is no like Hunter's Fury anymore. The Rolling Thunder's going to be the thing that's used, but it is used really early on here.
The switch has been flipped. Metasport knowing that this is going to be something aggressive. They need to dictate the pace here, but trying to defuse across the smoke without dealing with 4 players that are out on long is a tough one. So they switch their approach now. 2 Qs collected. They're running out of players though and running out of time.
Going to the third map.
Spike planted.
Yeah, it very much looks like it. Metasport need to pull a rabbit out of a hat. And Shimmick might be that wizard.
He has to be. He has to be like Gandalf when it comes to wizardry to bring this back, it feels. He's their win condition.
But Mandatory right now, I've got Enzo and he's the Balrog in this situation. Going all the way around, and it'll be such a big area now. This is massive. The IGL, so smart in such a position. Won't be staying alive for long, but I think he's done his job.
Oh,
He's
Rolling
kept
Thunder.
everyone busy. Cybov gets the pickup, so Rolling Thunder secured again. Jusu can only just wait for his fate to be sealed, because it's already been written. Mandatory 13-7, close down map 2 for themselves.
The defuse still not committed to. Metizport don't necessarily know that, but it would have guessed at this point. Cider gets the kill onto Mikey, who attempts it again.
Last player standing.
It's being diffused, and they, by hearing it. Mike, guided salvos. Shinnok tries to avoid them, ends up falling into the crossfires of hit. Jusu revealing himself, but he's got company. He might not even need it. Enzo close by. He knows he needs to hold this cover, but won't be able to do it. Only gets 1 before he drops. 3v3. Still very methodical, very slow paced, but Metasport get the spike down. And Mandatory look to go with 3 players for this retake.
Yuri's TP towards Elbow as well, so you have a nice little crossfire from the 2 players on site, and then B-Link, the Vice just holding back. It forces out the Molly, but that's not even on site. The Jet's going to try and contest exactly where this Yoru is, and it's a good fight for Jusu. He gets fully flashed in the face, but the timing of the utility just seems off.
It does. Does have a chance, but it doesn't look good. And I think he's already called it off in his mind, backing out from this one. Metasport will continue creating a streak here, with Mandatory's buy round not really going.
Pulled the attention and knows that Kellogg's is further away. I don't know if he necessarily heard the step to Mikey. I don't think so at all, because Mikey's found a kill. And the eco round of Mandatory finds itself with a player advantage.
I mean, the fact that they deal with hip is good signs to come, but the fact that Mandatory have also found themselves to the back of the site quickly, you know this round isn't completely over just yet. Sure, Jusu has given up some information. No M1 is. Make that 2. Kellogg's has been dealt with, and now they know Cypher his back plan. But the Sheriff
in an area that Mandatory have struggled to hold on to, and Kellogg's is actually going to take and push past it. The Blade Storm is able to get 2. It runs out by the time of the classic. It makes it free. He's 5 HP, still alive, and he's still going.
Well, that's one for the highlight reels. That's one for the highlight package for sure. Shinnok and Side are the only 2 ones that remain, and this started as an investment round. A round which they should have definitely been contesting. But instead it's instantly shut down because Kellogg's decided that this round is his.
Last player standing.
Cider also gets denied the entry past the doors. And now it's Shinnok scrambling to get something done. But look, you know you've got a tour de force. You're not going to be saving anything at this point. Maybe the operator now that you've picked it up, but you've been revealed.
30 seconds left.
Sorry, stuff from Kellogg's. Mikey as well.
Enemy remaining.
This
Down
is
A.
a brick wall that Metizport just ran into.
Over and over again.
And it's wrecked. The boat is wrecked.
Be
Yeah.
Armageddon is going to clear right through Cider.
Down A.
The spike still not planted with 20 seconds left. There is a bit of a flood coming in from Mandatory. Cyborg needs to be careful he doesn't overextend as some of these fights are being isolated and going the way of Metizport. 2 versus 2, but the spike yet to be planted.
And these
10
guided
seconds
salvos
left.
at that health point hurt.
enemy
Enzo
remaining.
doesn't have any of them left, but his rifle will hurt.
And some support from Enzo. Cyborg losing the fights in double doors a couple of times, still alive.
Oh man, but when it's the individual fights one from Mandatory, you know that's all over from Metizport. Because you're sort of hoping that Chinook wins. The wide swing from Enzo, and he's the one to get the pick? You would have thought Hip would have been there to seal the deal. And Enzo, if he takes that wide swing, to be the distraction. But apparently, this Frenchman decided to wake up and be on crack. This is just crazy. Solid individual performances. Pair that up with solid teamwork. Kellogg's might be in a bit of trouble here, but he's got a smoke to just dance around with. And it's not like he doesn't have reinforcements. Just walks out of the smoke. That is a good drone. Spotting out quite a few of the players. So Hunter Fury will be forced out here from Cider, and it's finally able to find some results. Though Mandatory still have set up with 2 players and a third one quickly approaching on the 40-second mark. It feels like Metizport have completely changed their mind on their approach, but with Chinook getting the pick, it might change their idea again.
30 seconds left.
This is a bit of a cat and mouse game, isn't it? What?
Shouldn't gonna go for the B because he's hoping for somebody to overextend. Is he gonna like check in that corner after this cosmic divide has gone down? It's weird.
I mean, it's smart for Metizport to move into the B
10
site.
seconds left.
They've lured the rest of Mandatory to the
What a shot.
Hey, Enzo. He's still dangerous.
Spike planted.
Finally put to rest.
You are divided.
So Metizport might be able to breathe for a little bit. But can you count Kellogg's and Mikey out? I don't think you can. Cosmic Divide will make the effort a little bit more difficult. No flashes available, so dry peeks required. Hard one, for sure. Especially with Chinook holding the angle with the tour de force. Spotted by the trap. Touching the spike, putting pressure. Kellogg's not able to defuse it halfway as a cloud burst dissipates. Mikey able to find the first one, 180-degree turn. That is completely insane!
How have they won it?
Somehow, Kellogg's and Mikey do the impossible, winning another 2v8.
Oh, they're on the right side.
They are. But it's mandatory to win all the fights. That is not what Metizport wanted. It seemed like they had all the cards in that round, but the execute was just too clean. And it just might become even cleaner given the fact that Cider is the only one left standing with the entire 5-man roster being alive and well for Mandatory. Cider needs to produce something unimaginable. And I don't think we'll be seeing it this time. You can already call this one over, but he will at least try and take someone down with a response, looks like. But they are very much aware. Here comes the drop of the nade. Flash in as well. A complete collapse onto Metasport's position. Mandatory, that is as clean as it could be, as the A site now becomes fully under their control.
Metizport just panicked. You could tell that they were antsy. They were uncomfortable in their position. Cider gets forced out onto his own into a fight against 3 players. And yet again, all of these defenders, all of these Sentinels, the Astra, the Sova, all falling apart. It's looking to be 12 rounds for Mandatory. And Metizport feeling like they kind of have to go for this one. They're still going to try and go for the defuse.
I mean, you have to.
One enemy remaining.
Executing when they've wanted to.
No, their executes have been fantastic. Was that a pick up through the smoke? I think it was. I think that really was a pick up through the smoke. And Juicy was the final chance. He was a last hold, and Cider, a Hail Mary that was required, but doesn't bear fruit. If you're Metizport right now, this hurts. I know it does. And as much as you try to suppress your feelings on your final efforts and just break through the site and try and make this clutch doable, it's just not feeling right for you. On Mandatory, the other hand, I think that just